She never glimpsed his face. He vanished before she could utter a word. Only a worn trucker's coat rested on a chilly hospital bench, holding a note and something that stole her breath. 10 days later, the tale had swept the internet. Yet no one could track him down. Who was he? Why did he pick her? And what was in that coat that altered everything? The country craved answers. Hit like and share where you're tuning in from. Your encouragement fuels more heartfelt stories. Now, let's dive in. The coffee wasn't fresh, but it warmed the hands. Tom Harris sipped it slowly, thawing his fingers by the vending machines in St. Mary's Medical Center. It was nearly 8 p.m., and the Nebraska breeze outside wailed like it held a vendetta. His rig sat parked near their doors. He'd only planned a quick stop to use the restroom and perhaps stretch his legs in peace. But as he stepped outside, he spotted her, a woman young, maybe early 30s, alone on a concrete bench past the entrance. She was hunched, one hand shielding her mouth, the other clutching a wrinkled hospital folder. Her phone pressed against her ear, her voice low but quivering. Tom wasn't prying, but the cold carried her words. "They won't release him until I cover the discharge meds." She murmured, "I tried Care Credit again. Rejected. I've got $14 left. That's all." Tom paused mid-stride. From where he stood, he saw tears glinting in her eyes. The hospital lights cast a pallor over her weary face. Her jacket was too thin for the chill. Beside her on the bench sat a plush dinosaur, the kind only a child would cherish. He glanced at the folder in her lap, through its clear sleeve. A document peeked out, pediatric post-op instructions, followed by an itemized bill. His eyes caught the total, $8,763.42. Tom drew a deep breath and turned toward his truck. That number echoed in his memory, or one much like it. He recalled the bill from his own hospital stay in Iowa scans, a night he nearly didn't survive, and someone who stepped in to help. Now, perhaps, it was his moment to act. He climbed into his rig and eyed the coat on the passenger seat, faded brown canvas with a wool lining. That coat had saved him one frigid Wyoming night when his heater failed, and snow piled past the doors. He'd clung to it ever since until now. Tom opened the side compartment, pulled out an envelope labeled reserve, and began counting. He didn't hurry. Each dollar was counted with care, as if it pulsed with life. $9,000 in total, his safety net for breakdowns, tow trucks, or the worst days a long-haul driver might face. It had taken nearly 3 years to save, scraped together between fuel costs, freight runs, and nights spent in the cab. But he never forgot the sting of needing help with no one there. His pencil scratched softly on a torn notebook page, writing just a few lines. He folded the note with precision and tucked it into the coat's inner pocket. Then the envelope, thick with bills, he sealed the pocket gently, as if it held more than money, as if it held hope. The zipper snagged briefly, just as it had that freezing Wyoming night. Strange how a thing could save you and still be stubborn. He slid from the cab, coat in hand. Outside, the woman remained, still weeping, though her voice had softened. Her phone now rested in her lap, her shoulders curled inward as if she wished to vanish. No one else saw her. Pain had a way of making people invisible. Tom stepped closer. She didn't notice him at first. He placed the coat softly beside her on the bench. Its weight made her turn. Startled, she looked up, eyes red, cheeks streaked with tears. Tom spoke quietly. "Some storms," he said, "aren't meant to be faced alone." Her lips parted, perhaps to speak or ask his name, but Tom was already turning away. She glanced at the coat, puzzled, then noticed a bulge in the pocket, a slip of paper peeking out. Her hand reached for it hesitantly, but Tom didn't look back. He climbed into his rig, started the engine, and pulled away under the faint orange glow of the hospital's streetlight. The wind tugged at his coat as he shut the door. In moments, he was gone, just another pair of taillights fading into the Nebraska night. Leela sat frozen on the bench, the coat in her lap, her son's plush dinosaur pressed against her side. The man had vanished. His words lingered, soft and almost apologetic. "Some storms aren't meant to be faced alone." She stared at the note, half expecting it to be empty or a scripture quote, but it was neither. In rough, penciled handwriting, it read, This coat kept me warm through a storm I thought would end me. Maybe it'll carry you through yours. A friend." Her breath hitched. She reached into the pocket again, fingers grazing fabric. Then paper, then something else. She pulled out the envelope and opened it slowly. Her vision blurred with disbelief. Folded bills appeared, then a full stack. She counted once, then again, $9,000. She stared at the money, as if it might disappear. Who gives such a sum to a stranger? Who walks away without a word of thanks? Tears fell silently down her face. Her phone slipped to the concrete, but she barely noticed. All she could think of was her 6-year-old Ethan, asleep 3 floors up in recovery. His surgery had succeeded, but insurance had failed them. She'd pleaded with the billing office for time. They'd refused to release his medication without payment. And now, this quiet trucker had given her more than enough. She stood slowly, clutching the coat, and looked toward where he'd gone. The parking lot was empty, no taillights, no truck, nothing. Later that night, with Ethan cleared to go home, Leela shared the story with a nurse. Then the front desk. She posted it online, not for attention, but because the weight of it was too much to carry alone. She photographed the coat on her couch, the note beside it, and Ethan sleeping under a blanket, his dinosaur tucked close. Her caption read, "I don't know his name, but a trucker saved my son tonight. By morning." Lila's post had thousands of likes, shares, and comments. By afternoon, local news reached out. By day 2, the story had spread beyond Nebraska. A trucker's coat, a handwritten note, $9,000 in cash, no name, no trace. It was a story people needed, something pure, selfless, real. They called him the silent helper, the ghost trucker, or simply a friend. Images of the coat and note filled screens. People analyzed the handwriting, shared blurry hospital camera footage of a tall man in a brown coat walking away into the night. No license plate, no clear face, just the deed. Strangers sent messages, veterans, single parents, nurses, people who'd once sat alone, crying, hoping to be seen. Truckers rallied most of all. Forums buzzing. Anyone know that coat? Anyone drive? Nebraska roots with Montana plates. But Tom stayed silent. He was just states away, parked at a quiet overlook near Wyoming's border, watching snow sweep across the hills. A gas station newspaper on his passenger seat bore the headline, "Who is the trucker? Who vanished?" His eyes softened, not quite a smile. He folded the paper and left it on the dash, a memory he could release without forgetting. Then he started the engine and drove back into the silence. He called home. Back in Nebraska, Leela was overwhelmed. Radio interviews, TV segments, a video with Ethan on her lap, smiling shyly. She kept the coat close, unwashed, fearing its faint scent of diesel and leather might fade. In every interview, she said, "If you're watching, thank you. You didn't just save us, you showed me kindness still exists." Across the country, people listened. 10 days after that night at St. Mary's, the story still echoed on morning shows, podcasts, documentaries, all asking, who was the trucker who left his coat and disappeared? There were no answers, no receipts, no name on the envelope, just a coat, a note, and a life it had lifted. That mystery only deepened its impact. At home, Leela folded the coat each evening, placing it on her worn couch's armrest. She tried wearing it once, but its weight felt heavy with meaning, not just warmth. It was a symbol of goodness in unexpected places. Ethan was healing fast, his cheeks rosy again, his appetite back. Each night, he'd ask, "Mama, does he know we're okay?" Leela had no answer, but her heart whispered, "Yes, I think he does." On the 10th night, a package arrived, no sender, just her name in block letters inside. A Polaroid of a mountain range, a semi parked on a cliffside road. On the back, "Keep going." Leela pressed it to her chest, tears falling. That night, she returned to the hospital bench, not in sorrow, but to reflect. She left a hot coffee beside her, as he had, hoping someone else in pain might feel seen. Miles away, Tom parked under a starry sky. The road was still, the radio soft. He didn't need praise or his face on TV. The world could wonder. He'd done what was needed and let it go. Because the greatest acts of kindness are often the quietest. And you don't need to be known to be unforgettable.